Hi everyone, this is Nico Kutsia, Executive for PPS Financial Planning. This is our first vlog that we are doing where we'd like to share some of our thinking in PPS Financial Planning with our members and the market at large. We'll be doing these once a month, making them available online. And the idea is really for you to get to know our business a little bit better. That means that you'll be getting exposure to a number of people in our business across all levels, from our senior management down to our planners sitting in front of our members. So when we look at the financial service industry currently, there's a lot of change happening. I think what often happens is that we tend to look at the change purely from a regulatory perspective, when in fact there's some broader shifts happening across the world. Many of these shifts we've spoken about before, but it bears reminding that it's not just the regulator that's changing, it's also our end client, the consumer, or in the PPS world, the member, that's fundamentally changing. So we know through technology, and through regulation, information is freely available now. We've really seen the empowerment of the client in terms of making decisions, negotiating fees. And the value add, we think, is also starting to shift closer to those that hold the relationship with the member. From a financial planning perspective, we think this is a massive opportunity for us to really differentiate ourselves as the leaders in the market and really to lead that transformation away from the financial services industry that produces product and then essentially sells those products to clients, and really shift that and transform that to a profession where we provide a quality experience through a team of well-qualified graduate professionals. At PPS, we've gone through a number of changes in the last couple of years. One of the biggest changes really has been a shift in our distribution strategy, specifically with regards to those that represent PPS with our members. Late in 2016, we went through a process of consolidating all of our internal distribution into one effort under the banner of financial planning. That really gave us an opportunity to leverage the relationships that have been built up over more than a decade with our members and really go back to them and talk to them about things that concern their lives and specifically their lifestyles. So the shift for us has gone away from talking to our members about what products we can offer them, which in PPS has significantly changed over the last decade. Really the emphasis on the conversation now is understanding their needs across their different life stages and finding solutions for them that may or may not include the implementation of a PPS product. One of the challenges we face, and I guess also one of the massive opportunities we have in PPS Financial Planning, is that we focus our efforts across all the different life stages of our members. So we've seen many financial planning businesses focusing on high net worth individuals. At PPS Financial Planning, we care about our members from the day that they graduate until they retire, and in fact beyond. We now cater through them even then through our fiduciary services business, where we offer estate planning on the planning side. And how we differentiate ourselves is there's a number of ways that we try and create a different experience. So one of the things that what we believe will separate us from other financial planning firms is what we call sophisticated simplicity. And that is really taking things that are complex and making them relevant and consumable for our members so that they can understand when we talk about the different components of planning, what they actually mean to them. Now, how we separate this across the different life stages, so obviously as we go through life, our needs change, our desires change, our financial situations change, so we have to adapt for that. And there's a number of ways that we do that. So first of all, we try and align the actual person that's sitting in front of you, the financial planner, we try and align that to the member, both from a demographical perspective, from an educational perspective. We try and find people that it would be easier for our members to relate to. That's the one differentiator. So because we know that dealing with a 25 or a 27-year-old is different to dealing with someone that's say 60 or 65 and going into retirement. The other way that we differentiate is the emphasis of the conversation will shift. So instead of going with one solution and selling that one solution across the entire market, we try and differentiate our value proposition. So we know, for instance, that for our younger professional members, they will be more interested in debt management, budgeting, savings products probably. Short-term insurance would be another example that they would be very interested in. Whereas when we deal with older clients, we think that the legacy issues become more important. So then there's a conversation that happens around estate planning, pre and post-retirement planning, and we essentially shift the conversation based on the client's needs, but then also based on where the client is within their overall sort of life cycle. One of the questions we often get when we deal with or when we engage with our members is, but aren't all financial advisors the same? Isn't a financial advisor exactly the same as a financial planner? How is what we do really different from what they're experiencing in the market? And I think that's a very important question for us to answer. What's sort of locked into that we also find through these conversations is that people don't really understand what financial planning is. And at a very high level, the difference between what we offer and I think what a lot of people have been exposed to in the past is that the financial planning conversation is about you. The financial planning conversation really is about understanding your life, the things that you want to get out of your life, both now and in the future, and not just for you specifically, but for those around you. So it's more of a listening conversation. The person that you're engaging with will listen more than they will talk. I think what we find in the industry often it's been more of the people that have engaged with our members go out there and promote a product to the client. And it's really about making them aware of a specific product and making sure that they have that product. So it's more of the people that they've engaged with, the expectation is that they will talk more and explain the products. And I think where we're different is we go one step back. Before we get to the product, before we implement, before we have that conversation about what the appropriate tax wrapper is, we take it one step back. And we spend a lot of time really listening, understanding, trying to get behind what the real needs and desires are of our members. Because only once we understand that can we go and craft a solution that really makes sense, that will stand the test of time. So if you look at the role the financial product plays in the two engagements, for financial planning, the product is a means to an end. The product helps us to fill the gap that we've identified between what your desires are and what your current financial situation is. So what are the things that you've made provision for? That's the role that the product plays in our lives. Very important, critical, because just having a plan is not enough. You have to then implement through the purchase of a financial product, but that is only a means to an end. Whereas I think a lot of our members in the past, the engagements that they've had has really focused more on the product than necessarily understanding the needs. So we will spend a lot more time investigating, understanding and listening to get behind what the true desires are. Okay, so what do our members, what should they be looking forward to for the rest of this year? So we often get asked, if I should just have one thing in place, what should that be? And I guess my answer would be, well, it's quite simple. Get a financial plan. Most people have products in place. Most of our members own products across different product providers sometimes, and they probably have some insurance or investments in place, but you're probably not sure how all of those things come together. And if there's one thing that we'd like to encourage all of our members to do is to start engaging with someone, whether it be a financial planner from PPS or with a financial planner externally, is to engage with someone that can help you make sense either of what you have and what the gaps are, or of the things that you might need that you don't currently own. So I think for the rest of the year, it's not about getting more product. It's about getting out there and having a conversation with someone that can put a plan together and pull all those things together. So at Financial Planning, we've set ourselves up to try and assist with that. We think that the people that we've employed, the why, how, and what aligns. And so at PPS Financial Planning, it really is about helping our members, their families and colleagues live the lives they want to live. We do that through what we call lifestyle-based financial planning. We sometimes even refer to that as coaching, financial coaching. And what we do is we provide outcome-based financial plans, integrated product advice, and fast and efficient execution.